Hey everyone, thanks for being with us here at Central.Church and our online community, and especially checking out this weekend thoughts. Make sure you check out our weekend teaching time as we are going through our series Miracles, and we're looking at how God speaks to us. And I also hope that you are enjoying this time of season, this Christmas time, that you're taking it all in. But I realize that maybe for some of you you're not. In fact, for some of you, you can't wait till we get through this Christmas time. You can't wait till 2022 gets here. You know that you are harboring some bitterness. You know you're harboring some envy. You look around at what looks like or what appears like during this time of year, maybe through this past year, that God seems to be blessing them. That God seems to be pouring into this individual or into this family, or maybe even there's a pastor watching this weekend thought, and you're seeing how it appears that God really pouring into this church, and you're not seeing the blessings or miracles around you because you're so blinded, and we're so caught up in the bitterness and envy that we're losing sight of it all. Over in Luke chapter 1, we see where Zechariah and Elizabeth have the angel Gabriel shares with them that they are going to have a son. Now, Zechariah and Elizabeth have been praying for years that God would bless them with a child, and they've been unable to have children. And now they've reached the age that they don't think they can have children. They don't think it's capable. They've moved past that time in their life. And now they have found out that God is going to bless them with a son. They even find out that they are to name him John. And then, if you look on there, we see that Mary has found out from the angel Gabriel also that she is going to bear a son, and his name is to be Jesus. Now, Zechariah and Elizabeth found out that their son was to pave the way, that John is to pave the way for the Messiah. Well, if you look there and what Luke shares with us, we see that Elizabeth, after she becomes pregnant, she goes off by herself. She goes in, if you will, into hiding for about 5 months. And then we see that this time that Mary comes to spend some time with Elizabeth and Zechariah. And she stays with Elizabeth for 3 months. Now think about this for a minute. Elizabeth and Zechariah have been wanting to have children all their lives. They have been praying about this. They think they've reached the time in their life where they can't have children anymore, and then they find out that, hey, they're going to have a son, and then Elizabeth becomes pregnant, and the excitement that had to be in the midst of their family, the excitement as a couple, the excitement in the community, and now you have Mary, this young adult woman that comes on the scene, and she's pregnant as well. Now, think about this for a minute. Think about how Elizabeth could have felt. She could have felt envious. She could have felt bitterness. She just said, this is taken away from my joy. I've waited so long for this. Why at a young age are you being blessed with this? Why are you being given this miracle? And here I am. I realize I'm pregnant now, but I've waited so long. Could you not have waited longer? Why this now? All these thoughts she wasn't immune to these thoughts. But at the same time, she doesn't allow herself to go there. In fact, it says that when Mary walks in and greets Elizabeth, it says that the baby within inside Elizabeth, that John, this little baby, she feels a kick within inside of her. It also says there that Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit. Now imagine the conversations that had to take place between Elizabeth and Mary over this 3-month period. Elizabeth is carrying John, who's going to pave the way for the Messiah. Mary is carrying Jesus, the Messiah. Now, did these women understand all that was about to take place? Absolutely not. But at the same time, both these women are celebrating in this miraculous thing, this gift, these precious lives that they have been given in their life. Bitterness and envy are not of God. And nothing good can come out of bitterness or envy. no matter what it is, whether we are envious or bitter toward an individual or a family or a church or an organization, nothing good ever comes out of that. But when we look at Elizabeth and her reaction to Mary, we see so many amazing things that come out of this. We see that Elizabeth doesn't allow this bitterness and envy to enter into her life, but she's the opposite. In fact, she actually celebrates in what God is doing in Mary's life. She experiences the celebration within her own life. She experiences the celebration from the baby within her that kicks because of being in the presence of the Messiah. We see a totally different response than a lot of times and she again wasn't immune from this idea of being bitter, envious, but she was celebrating in what God was doing, not only in her life, but in the life of Mary. And because of that, it was very encouraging to Mary. It was very uplifting to Mary. And so we have some choices that we can make through this season moving into 2022. We can look around us at the different, what appears to be that this group of people or this family or individual is receiving all these blessings and God just seems to be moving in miraculous ways. But in our own lives, we become bitter and envious because of what's going on there. In other words, we compare our life to their life, or our family to their family, or our church to that church. And instead of just looking at God's church as a whole, instead of celebrating what God is doing in this individual or this family's life, or what God is doing in his church, we allow bitterness and envy to creep in, which takes away our joy, which takes away our excitement, which takes away our dreaming, which takes away our ability to be creative, which takes away our experience to be able to enjoy Jesus the way he so much wants us to enjoy him, especially during this time of year. This is an amazing time of year to celebrate the birth of Jesus. It's an amazing time of year to share in the goodness and love and grace of the Messiah. It's an amazing time of year to share in the good news of what it means to have a life with Jesus Christ, to those that are struggling to believe, to those that are struggling to understand. We have these great opportunities. Instead of allowing enviness and bitterness to eat at us and remove this joy and excitement and celebration, we can be an encouragement to our family, to our friends, to our neighbors, to our co-workers, to the church. So may this be an encouragement to you this coming week, that we might celebrate in what God is doing, that we might allow ourselves to look at life this week. How about this? How about right now, as soon as you get done watching this video, that over the next 24 hours, you just make a decision that I am going to celebrate in what God is doing, that I'm going to allow myself to look at the world just for the next 24 hours. I'm going to allow myself to look at the world differently, to look at my neighbors differently, to look at my co-workers differently, to look at life differently for the next 24 hours. I'm going to be an encouragement. I'm going to celebrate in on what all I see that God is doing, and just see what experiences you have over the next 24 hours that maybe can move into 48 hours, that can move into a whole entire week. You guys have a great week. Bye.